Shalom, everybody. Rabbi Edelstein here with this week's installment of Rabbi E in 3-ish. I decided to add that. I'm not usually a fan of that ending, but I can see it's useful with someone like me and Rabbi E in 3-ish. Okay, brought to you by MEOR DC. That's not an ish. Find us on Facebook precisely at MEOR DC or MEORDC.org. Learn about our programs and please be in touch. This week's Torah portion is called Mishpatim. It's in the book of Shmos or Exodus. And the connection I want to explore came to me as I was in the market of the aisle of the supermarket, Giant, and I was glancing at some magazines, the appropriate ones that is, and I noticed something which of course is obvious. I'm sure it's always like that, but it struck me tonight how big numbers, one bigger than the other, are on the covers to present whatever ideas the magazine's trying to convey. So I saw tonight, these are actual numbers I saw. I'm paraphrasing a little bit what they refer to, but the numbers are exact. 30 plus ideas to warm up your winter. 50 secrets your hospital won't tell you. 100 best recipes. 107 crowd-pleasing favorites. 250 ideas, that was a wedding magazine, I think. 275 best ever cooking tips. 500 new ideas. I think that was also a wedding magazine, and that's what I saw. 30, 50, 250, 500. Big numbers. I thought of this week's Torah portion, Mishpatim, because if I were doing a glossy magazine cover in a supermarket aisle for this week's Torah portion, Mishpatim, it would say 53 ideas to warm up your life. 53 best recipes for meaning in everyday life. Or, 53 best ever spirituality tips, because there are 53 commandments, mitzvot, in this week's Torah portion. And every mitzvah is a tip, a recipe, a crowd-pleasing favorite for bringing meaning into your life and connecting us in this physical world to something transcendental, to something eternal. That's what every mitzvah does in different ways. Hold on. There are 53 in this week's Torah portion. That's a lot. But wait, what about the whole Torah? A big magazine cover, 613 ideas to warm up every second of your existence in this world. 613 bright ideas to illuminate your mind, heart, and soul. 613 best ever life tips. That's what the mitzvot are. And that's actually our mystical tradition refers to the mitzvot that way as tips to connect to God, to connect to our source. An amazing thing. Every mitzvah we know, and there's so many. This week's Torah portion, 53 of them. It's a big chunk. Most of them in this week's Torah portion deal with interpersonal commandments in the civil realm. Not to damage someone, not to cause them harm, or what to do, how to rectify it if you damage them or their property. And those, by the way, are just as holiness-producing as prayer and blessings and things like that, because the Torah is a unity. Do all my commandments and be holy unto your God, because holiness is in the business realm and in the home and in the domestic realm and in the workplace, just as it is in the more sacred, quote-unquote, realm of a synagogue or right? Everywhere, these mitzvot give us ways to spiritually warm up our lives. Now, the issue is coming into play now, but I'm going to be quick. So big numbers are great, but let's take one little beautiful tip in this week's Torah portion recipe. It says, one of the mitzvot, it says, when you lend money to my people, when you lend money to my people, that's actually a commandment to lend money to a person who is poor. Right, to the poor person who is among you, do not act toward him as a creditor. And the oral law explains, don't walk by his cubicle or house when you know he can't pay you back the money right now, and you're just doing it to lord it over him that he owes you money. Amazing thing, the sensitivity. He owes you money. He's got to pay. In fact, the whole Torah portion deals with obligations, but don't lord it over to him. Don't act to him outwardly as a creditor when you know he can't at the moment pay you back. An amazing sensitivity, and that's just one of 613 favorite tips to bring meaning and sensitivity and joy to your life. Have a wonderful Shabbos. See you next week.